Hello, and welcome to this session about RYLA, the Rotary Youth Leadership Camp. It's a great chance for students and their families to know about RYLA. My name is Todd St. Vrain. I'm with the Rotary Club of San Francisco, and I also serve as the Deputy Director for the RYLA Camp. And I'd like to introduce and have my co-hosts unmute themselves now. If Kai and Mila, two of our alumni, Kai and Mila, if you could introduce yourselves, please.
Yeah, my name is Kai. I'm not with any Rotary Club, but I've been going to camp for, I think 4 years now. Twice as a student, once as an alumni, and then this year I'll be going back as an alumni as well.
And where
So
do you
yeah,
go to school, Kai?
I'm a high school senior at Balboa in San Francisco.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mila?
Hi everyone, I'm Myla. I'm a second year at UC Berkeley, and this is my third year contributing to RYLA.
Amazing. That's great. We're really excited to have everyone joining us tonight. And we did have a poll going here and want to give you a few more minutes to do that. So we're going to end the poll now. So go ahead and last chance to do it. And now we're going to share the results just to see who that you are. So it looks like that there's a fair number of students. We also have some parents on the call, even a teacher. That's great to know. It's a good split between if you're in San Francisco, San Mateo, and Marin, and also really great, a lot of freshmen, sophomores, some juniors, a few seniors, and others. So we asked the question, which animal would you choose to be? A lion, a peacock, owl, a lot of popular about koala. We'll explain shortly as to why we're asking about these animals. And finally, we wanted to know if you could go to any concert here you go to. It looks like there's a lot of Swifties in the room and a wide variety of musical taste. So that's fantastic. So let me go ahead and start to share my screen. We have some slides here about RYLA. If you can just bear with me for a second, because we've got a lot of tabs open here. And that's our website. Here we go. Okay. This is the one I'm looking for. And wanted to first give you an overview of RYLA and really to help you understand what it's about. And then we're going to have a lot of speaking from Kai and Mila as the students who've been through it as part of our alumni. We'll also have plenty of time for Q&A where you can either put your questions into the chat or you can even unmute yourselves. So let's go ahead and get started. So RYLA stands for the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. Sometimes it's called the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. Basically, it is a summer camp, a very transformative experience for high school students that is supported by Rotary clubs. So if you're not familiar with Rotary, we are an international organization over 100 years old, focused all about service and doing good in the world. And Rotary, actually, the second oldest Rotary club in the world is actually here in San Francisco. So RYLA is all about youth leadership development. It's also about your own personal growth and helping, providing you with lots of inspiration. And it's also a lot about making friends and having a lot of fun. So I think it's helpful to know that RYLA has been an official part of Rotary since 1971, and that each year there are hundreds of RYLA's camps around the world, with some like 50,000 students going to a RYLA. Our RYLA, which is supporting for San Francisco, San Mateo, and Marin counties, has been going on for nearly 40 years, and it's an incredible legacy that we're very proud of, and that it's absolutely free because it's the Rotary clubs of members of like me who are supporting through our donations so that you can have this experience. So our RYLA is 5-day residential camp. For the students, you come down early on the morning of July 29th, and everyone goes home on Friday, August 2nd. We have the camp at the Redwood Glen Camp on Conference Center, which is in Scotts Valley, which is just outside of Santa Cruz. So we do organize free buses to and from the camp so that don't have to worry about getting to the camp, that there would be a bus in a central location in each of the three counties to take you there. And each year we have over maybe 150 students coming, and they come from 40 to 50 high schools throughout our three counties. So RYLA is open to any student who is a current freshman, sophomore, or junior who is studying or living in San Francisco, San Mateo, or Marin counties. So if you're in eighth grade or know an eighth grader, they're too young to be a part of RYLA. You have to wait until next year. If you are a senior, unfortunately, you're not able to participate in RYLA, but you could come back as perhaps one of our camp staff as a college student, which we'll be talking about more. And we also have over 60 volunteer staff of people who help run the camp. And that includes the support staff, nurses, and alumni, and also the facilitators, which is what I've been doing for the last 2 years. So facilitators, you're going to be in a team in about 10 to 12 students, and each team has two facilitators. And these are people who just care about youth. They could be as young as a college age student. They could be as old as a retiree. And they've gone through training, they've gone through background, fingerprints, and they are there to help guide you through your camp experience and make sure that everyone has a safe time. So Mila and Kai have both have gone to the camp as student campers, but they also have come back as alumni staff. So Kai, can you tell us about what is the role of the alumni who come back as staff?
Yeah, totally. So the excuse me. The alumni is a little bit different from being a camper, as you have to have been a camper to be an alumni. And what you do as an alumni is you are still kind of you're not the way I explain it to my friends is like being a camper is like learning about the theory of being a leader and like sitting through lectures and whatnot. And then being an alumni is kind of stepping into the role and like applying what you learned in like a real life situation. So as an alumni, you have a lot more responsibility. You have to facilitate activities. Each campfire every night has to be rehearsed and like prepared for. Um, what else? What am I missing, Mila?
Yeah, I was just gonna say how like alumni kind of step in and get to know the campers and learn about like their leadership traits and just kind of help them and guide them in the right direction and just like be someone to like rely on too.
And Kai and Mila, you're both going to be coming back as alumni staff this year?
That's right.
Yes.
Excellent. So we should note that our facilitators, our alumni staff, this is a volunteer position. We actually have to come a day early, so it's 6 days of our time, but we love doing it. For any of you who do go through as students and come back as alumni staff, we have some scholarships that we offer for students in recognition of your service, but also to help pay for your, college costs. And this year we had a record number of 44 alumni apply, and we're hoping to have about 24, which I just says really how much young people really love RYLA and keep wanting to come back. So let's keep going and keep talking about the other things that you can do. So let's talk about what actually goes on at camp. So we are talk about leadership development as opposed to leadership training. So leadership training sounds like you have a set of instructions and out you will come as a leader. And instead we say that everyone has leadership abilities. We're all at different stages. So it's all learning about what are the best practices as a leader and then connecting with what works for you. So, Mila, can you tell us a little bit more of what's up here about the 5 practices of exemplary leadership that we follow?
Yeah. So we throughout camp kind of like rely on like these th 5 practices, and we do certain like activities with the facilitators. Like we did had a ropes course this year, kind of building modeling the way. Like I worked at this one station, and yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, so modeling the way is all about your leading by example, and your values, inspire shared vision, where you're getting everyone to work together and create something that you couldn't do on your own. Challenge the process, where you maybe question things and why you do things and how you do it, and coming up with solutions. Enabling others to act, and that it's not just about you doing it as a leader, but getting other people to do it. And then encouraging in the heart that you lead by showing appreciation and reinforcing positive things. So we talked about leadership styles. So Kai, could you tell us, we say that there's more than one leadership style. So we talked about these animals. So what does this have to do with these 4 animals? What are the different leadership styles?
Yeah. So, excuse me. I'm sorry. So before going to camp, each camper is supposed to take this like little, not quiz. I don't want to say test, but it's like a survey,
Mhm.
and it's a bunch of hypothetical situations, like what would you do in this situation, and then the whole point of it is to determine like what kind of leadership style you are, and there's no kind of like there's sometimes like no right like one true answer. Like sometimes like me, I'm like I took it a year ago and then 2 years ago and I got different answers. But generally, um, each person tends to like lead groups in like kind of 4 different ways. Um, so yeah, like the lion is like sort of like very lions are very like determined, they're decisive, and they're like very goal oriented. Same as owls. Except owls are supposedly more introverted, very detail oriented. And then peacocks and koalas are very more social, less goal oriented. Not to say that they're better or worse leaders. But peacocks are sort of like emotional, I guess, like very like super people oriented and like friendly. They're often seen as like more outgoing. And then koalas are also people oriented, but also kind of the opposite in a weird way. Like they're more slightly more introverted, and their whole leadership style is kind of like seeing what the general consensus is and then going with what the group wants. Um, yeah, I
Great summary. Yeah.
yeah.
So you'll see in the images here that, yeah, it's the students, but also the camp staff. We do this inventory, yeah, this little survey, and we get numbers for each of these. And so then we break out the students by dominant leadership style. And then the alumni are facilitating a discussion about the pros and cons of what it means to lead as a lion or primarily as a koala, and how you work with people from different styles. So another theme of the camp is a hero's journey. So in fiction, you have a character that is an unlikely hero that no one thinks of as a leader, say Harry Potter, and that there is some threat to this character's world, say Lord Voldemort. And so there's this journey. Often it's an inward journey where the hero has to rise up and defeat the threat. And in doing so, they're transforming themselves and the world around them. So each team at RYLA has the name of a movie that represents the hero's journey. So I'm going to ask Mary Lou to come on. She's one of our facilitators. So my team one year was Team Kung Fu Panda, and one year I was Finding Nemo. Kai and Mila, what teams were you on? Which teams were you in?
I was on Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Okay.
Last year or The last time I was a camper, I was team Despicable Me.
And if Mary, if you want to come on, she was one of our facilitators last year. Mary, which team were you facilitator for?
Hi, everybody. I was on Team Batman.
Batman. So it's a tradition at RYLA that the facilitators buy a small gift for the team to help them that represents their team name. So that's why you see people wearing Shrek ears, or the Ratatouille team here. They all had chef hats and aprons and wooden spoons. So this introduces an element of fun, but it's also about building team identity and team spirit. So team building is very much a part of what RYLA is about that we've started to touch on. But Mila, can you talk a little bit about what happens during the ropes courses?
Yeah, so I was part of one of the one of the leaders on the ropes course, and we kind of just got to like watch the campers and um them just building these team skills together, working through these ropes courses together, and yeah, and just seeing like their leadership at the end and working together was really nice to
So
see.
can you
So
describe what's happening with this picture of the young woman? It's kind of hard to just maybe see. What is she actually? Looks like she's standing in air. What's actually going on here?
I didn't work that ropes course, so I'm not quite sure, but
Okay, so
yeah.
what it is, it's a cable that's in between trees, and then there's actually two students, and they're having to go across it together. And then everyone is trying to give instruction about how to work together and support them. So it's all about learning to communicate, and building trust with each other. And then the zip line is a popular feature. Kai and Mila, did you both have a chance to do zip lining?
I didn't get the chance to do it, but
That's
I
because
think
yeah,
other people
they
did.
they did the camp during the pandemic when we actually did it online. So it's a really huge popular thing, and for some students, it's about confronting their fears. Don't worry, if you're terrified of heights, we're not going to make you to force you to get up on there. But some people do find the courage to do it, and it's a real thrill thing. So we also do teamwork through collaborative art. So this year we introduced murals where all of the teams got a chance to paint on the mural, and it was all about the themes of the camp. And then there's going to be a lot of team discussions led by our facilitators. And then the final night, Kai, can you tell us about the skits?
Yeah, totally. So one of the larger collaborative activities that each group does is work on a skit, and I think they're assigned it the day they arrive or the day after.
The day
But
of the
basically,
camp. Start doing it that night. Yeah.
oh yeah, totally. So right from day one, they're already put into a position where they have to work together, organize, communicate, collaborate, do all those things that we try and reinforce at camp.
Yeah, and so the facilitator's role is to maybe help the teams to reflect on how are you working together? Was everyone getting a chance to contribute their ideas? Was everyone listened to? Usually the skit, it's very funny, and it usually has to do with the team's name. So in this picture here with a bunch of people with the leaves, I think that was actually maybe from the Lorax, and the other group was Toy Story. So it's actually still a lot of fun, but it's also as a way about team building and reflecting on what you've learned. So we also have foster a lot of your personal growth as a leader and just as a person. So we have what are called plenary sessions, which is basically just a large group session of a talk by someone, a guest speaker, on a topic that youth have identified that matters to them. So that could be climate change, homelessness. This past year, we did one on mental health. In addition to that, we have breakout workshops, and these are very practical and focused. It could be a continuation of the topic, say, homelessness with the speaker, but we also have ones about managing your finances. Mary Lou and I and Mila have led one on life after college. It could be on public speaking. It could be on project planning. You always get a choice of which sessions that you get to go to. And then in the evening, we have what's called a campfire. So that's held in an amphitheater with a stage, and there's a campfire. So Kai, can you tell us more about the alumni testimonials, the stories that take place at campfire?
Yeah, sure. So the alumni excuse me, the alumni testimonials are little speeches that the alumni prepare to kind of like I guess set the tone for each campfire, and just kind of be it's a chance for um the alumni to kind of be vulnerable to the campers. Oftentimes they'll share something that's, very personal that they wouldn't share with, you know, normal people just in their everyday lives. Not saying that they have to do that, but often that's a way to kind of, yeah, like inspire the campers. You know, and it's also a way for the alumni to just like share what they've learned. Um, Not that the alumni are always like older or more mature than the campers, but everyone has a very different walk of life, and it's a chance for the alumni to get get the spotlight and share their experience.
Yeah, and these can be incredibly moving stories. Mary, what was as a facilitator sitting there, what was your reaction to some of the stories that you would hear that the alumni would share?
Very personal stories, and you can tell some of the kids were really nervous, but by the time that they were done with their stories, they were so proud of themselves because they not only got the big cheer from from everybody that was sitting in the audience, but it was just that proud moment that they actually was able to get up there and just speak in front of people.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and just to share a personal story, my great niece was one of these campers 2 years ago, and I heard her personal story, and I had no idea that she was going through some of these struggles as a teen. But I saw her a few weeks ago, and she came back last year. 2 years ago, she was a camper. Last year, she was alumni. And then just a couple of weeks ago, she led her sister's baby shower as the MC of the event. And there were about 150 people in the room. So this is going from a shy girl into somebody that really blossomed. And she says RYLA was a big part of that.
That's great. So we talked about, the one of the exemplary practices of good leaders is model the way. So the alumni are up there to share the stories, to modeling it. Then as Mary said, her grand niece came as a camper, and so students, the campers, are also invited to get up and share their stories at campfire and also the closing ceremony. You're not forced to get up and go on stage. You can also go up with your friends that you've just made. But again, just having the courage to get up and speak in front of 200 people can be a really incredible step in your personal growth. And as Mary said, then you lead to, you're organizing events for hundreds of people and everything like that. Now, Kai and Maida had the unique experience of that they were doing RYLA during the pandemic when we actually did it online. For the students coming to the camp, many students say that it's actually their first time going to an overnight camp. So that's you, you're not alone. And a lot of students, talk about all the friends that they've made. And that, that if you're from Burlingame, that maybe you've never actually made friends from Chinatown or Novato, so that it's all about expanding your connections and opening your world, seeing, how we're all the same, but also appreciating others' differences. All right, let's go on to the next slide. And Mila, can you tell us about the fun that we have at RYLA?
Yes, of course. So at RYLA, we have multiple different facilities that we have during our free time. So once a day, campers and alumni have some free time. So showing these pictures here, we have the pool, and I know a lot of people really like that. We have the campfire, which we usually do at night, but is also really fun. We usually do some s'mores. This year we did karaoke in the chapel, and it was really fun, you know, just to kind of bond with everybody. That was one of my favorite parts for sure. And then yeah, there's other just like games, and you can kind of walk around and be in nature. One of my like favorite parts was I'm a runner, so I got to run around a little bit. And yeah, and you can also like, I think one of the facilitators also leads the hikes as well. So yeah, there's a lot of really fun things to do.
A
And
lot of
yeah.
fun, a lot of laughter too. Now you mentioned that we were in the chapel. So RYLA doesn't have any religious affiliation. The camp grounds are run by the Salvation Army, and they rent out the space to many, organizations for their camp. So they have a large hall that we call the chapel, but that's actually where we have some of our plenary sessions, where we have the karaoke dance jam and everything like that. So this is giving a variety of the things here. So let's talk about RYLA's impact. These are some quotes that students have made and that Mary has often shared about, that her niece, and about the confidence of going. Sometimes people are coming in, feeling like I finally have a voice and I finally feel connected, I matter, or I'm really struggling with some very personal issues, but RYLA's, really helping me to get through it. And I'll hear a lot of students say, this was the best week of my life. So Kai, and first Kai and then Mila, you keep coming back to RYLA. What is it about that you love about RYLA? What is it so special about this camp that so many people love it? And why should the students on this call be a part of it? Kai, over to you first.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to explain. I don't know. For me, it was just kind of like you said, there were some kids who, or not kids, campers who it was our first time opportunity to kind of get away and kind of stay away from home, away from family, and that was me. So I think it was a big area of growth for me in that sort of field, just kind of not, kind of having to navigate um myself for a whole week, which I'd never done before. And in terms of why I keep coming back, I that's again very like kind of difficult to explain. I don't know. But you see like the impact, like it impacted me, and I see it in other people too. Like last year as an alumni, as camp was ending, the campers were already approaching me and asking me like, hey, like, can I be an alumni? Like, can you like help me like become an alumni, or can you put in a good word for me so that I'm able to come back? And there's one facilitator, TJ, who says that by you can see the difference when the campers arrive on the buses. They're very quiet, awkward, but by the time they're leaving, like they've made a bunch of friends. You can like, they're crying like of sadness because I'm not exaggerating. They're literally like very emotional, and like they're hugging so tight you have to get a crowbar to like pry them apart. I don't know. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's a very intense week and it's very special, and yet we all feel a deep connection. And I know it's hard not to get emotional, whether that's crying or smiling when I think of RYLA. So you mentioned TJ, he's one of our facilitators, and on our YouTube channel, there is a video all about the facilitators. Mary's in there too. But, TJ, he started as a student, and he says that he was so nervous to come to camp that he came this close to not getting on the bus to take him down. And now look at him, he's a facilitator. So I think that shows the impact. Mila, how about for you? How did RYLA make a difference in your life, whether as a student or coming back as an alumni?
Yeah, so I think RYLA was definitely like a huge, like, I feel like impact is like a really good word to describe it. When I came in, like my junior year, I was in COVID, kind of down and shy, and I feel like, yeah, I came in very shy, and I don't know, I just like after COVID, I decided to take up some leadership positions and, just take action in my community and just like I don't know, just seeing everybody like in my team too. Like I still talk to some people as well, like in my Scooby-Doo group. But yeah, and one of them just came to Berkeley too, and we were just talking about how RYLA really like, changed just our perspective on things. And I think another reason why I keep coming back too is just like seeing the impact on other like campers as well, like what was Kai was saying, like they came in kind of shy, but then coming out with like some really close friends and even during like the testimonies too, like getting to know others and seeing how everybody kind of connects on other levels. And it's just really nice to come back and see the impact on other and being able to like help other people like grow their leadership as well.
For
And
sure.
yeah.
So Mary and I were just on Saturday, we had a Rotary District Assembly. So all the Rotary clubs from our 3 counties were together, and we had a session about RYLA. And we had some of the people in the room interested to be facilitators. And a couple of them mentioned that they actually went to, RYLA as a high school student, and that they stayed friends, with the people that they met at RYLA, to the point that some of these people actually came to their wedding or were in their wedding. So I think it really grates to show, the connections and also, yeah, your personal development that you're having. So this is a sample day in the life of RYLA, that, we feed you well and feed you a lot. So usually the mornings are dedicated to these team building activities like the ropes courses, the mural project. And then after lunch, that's when we have a talk, as a large group in the plenary session. And then you have these each day, some of these personal development workshops that will give you a chance to choose what you want to go to. And then, yes, we do have a couple hours for activities. Again, swimming, hiking, arts and crafts. If you just want to chill and play the piano or, write in your journal, relax, chill, there's a rec room. Then after dinner, that's when the campers are in their teams. You're reflecting on the day, planning for the next day, and then preparing for your skit. And then, yeah, the campfire, often sometimes with s'mores afterwards. And then, 10 o'clock, you can either go back and hang in the cabin, or you can, go to the area that we call the chapel for like the karaoke dance session. And then we all go out, and then before you know it, the week is over. So let's talk about the facilities. So the students are staying in cabins in dorms, so you're not in tents. And the cabins do have bunk beds, and then there's like a central shower, bathroom facilities. It is gender-based, and we do have alumni staff down in the camp sleeping down there to make sure that everyone is, making sure that everyone's like, getting up on time, going to bed. This year on the application form, we're asking if you're an early bird or a night owl, so that we're trying to also see if we can group it, but that, if you tend to be more of a late night person, maybe we can kind of group you all together so we're not disturbing the people who want to get to bed early. The facilitators, the other staff, we're on the other side of the camp. We're more like an econo lodge, kind of thing. This picture here is from the outside, the dining hall. And so you're going to be surrounded by the redwoods. It's sunny, warm days, gets cool at night. Again, we have the swimming pool, sports field, the amphitheater and stage, the rec room. There's lots of areas to hang out. You might see some deer, some wild turkeys, either at dawn or dusk. So it's a really beautiful setting, and we're kind of like in this little bubble of this kind of really special world. Okay, so let's talk about applications. So the applications are due on our website by May 15th. So that is, it's just a really brief form, and also indicates things about your interests. There is no leadership experience required. So it's not like you have to have been like a club president or, a team captain. We're looking for people at all stages. There are no interviews. You don't have to provide any really personal statements or references. So we pretty much accept everyone who has applies and wants to agree, by our values of respect and openness, subject to availability. So we would encourage you, even if you're not sure about your summer plans, to apply now, because by May we could be, filling up and having like a wait list. And we understand that if your plans change over the summer and you can no longer do it because maybe you're vacation or you got a job, that's okay. But we really want you to apply by the deadline here. And again, RYLA is free, so you don't have to pay any money to pay a deposit to secure a place. Again, it's all supported through the generosity of the Rotary Clubs. The Rotary Club of San Francisco's principal sponsor, but we have dozens of Rotary Clubs throughout our 3 counties of San Francisco, Marin, and San Mateo, providing support so that you can attend. So briefly, we talk about what to bring to camp. So Kai, what is the most important thing that you think people need to bring to camp? And please remember word for word what we talked about in our lead-up session to this.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, just in my humble opinion, I think the most important thing um is just like emphasizing what you just said, the first bullet point, open mind and a positive attitude. Just because what was it? Last year I saw some campers who did not have this, and it kind of ruined I'm like I hate to say it, but it like ruined their experience at RYLA. And when you aren't open to like what like the RYLA activities or like anything else that RYLA gives you, it's just like um you're kind of closing yourself off to having like a great experience, which is all RYLA is trying to do, especially if, you're already at camp, and it's like 2 days in and you're like refusing to like participate. Like, you know, we won't force you to do anything you don't want to do, but also like, the least you can do is like try. Like you're already here. Just like try it out. Yeah.
And of course, sometimes the camp, because, can stir up a lot of emotions or feelings. That's where the facilitators, like people like me and Mary, we're there to help support you if there's any, whatever, if you want to have a chat, just what's really going on, everything like that. But for most part, that I think people really say it's a positive experience. They love the camp, making a lot of friends. Mila, anything that you wish that you would have brought to camp, or that's something that you forgot to bring to camp when you came as alumni?
Um, kind of basic, but I forgot some sunglasses because yeah, kind of random, but yeah, it gets kind of warm too. So yeah,
Yeah.
just bring
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have well, once you come to camp, we'll give you a checklist of all the things, to bring. Especially for those of you coming from Marin, it's going to be an extra long journey. You might want journey. Might want to have some snacks at the bus. But once you get to the camp, there's a buffet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and lots of snacks. How would you say I would say is the food, Kai? It's all good. Good.
Vastly
Well, we're
improved
going to
over the
take some
years.
time for questions. So again, the website that you've probably all have been on is Riley Camp. Also, the YouTube channel. You can also, we have some various videos on each of the pages, but you can also connect through this QR code or through the landing page. At the beginning, I was showing kind of the highlights video. There are more videos there about our approach to leadership, the facilitators, students. So finally, we'll just, before we take Q&A, that these are the affirmation bags. So each student, camper, each alumni, facilitator, staff, we get our names and our team name. And throughout the camp, you have a chance to write a little note of just some appreciation, what you appreciate about that person or what it made a difference. And then at the final day, at the closing ceremony, everyone gets their affirmation bag. I still have mine sitting here. And it's just a wonderful way of just, things like that. So really, RYLA is a very affirming experience. And we hope that, it's a chance to affirm yourself as growing as a leader, affirming yourself as a person, affirming the chance to really just have the time of your life and make a lot of friends. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and we're going to see. So now is a great time if you have any questions to please put them into the chat. I'm not sure if we can see everyone, But please go ahead if there's any questions that you have. We're really happy to help address anything that we can clarify for you. So go ahead. Oh, Mary has raised her hand. So yes, Mary, go ahead and get started as we wait for other questions to come in.
Hi,
Go ahead,
Todd.
Mary.
Thank you. Have you mentioned about the youth protection certification that we go through?
That's yes. So that's for the facilitators. That's for the adults, the student. But Mary, why don't you tell us just to help assure that, especially the parents,
Right,
what is
especially the parents that are on here.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very good thing. So tell us
So
about that.
as a facilitator, we actually go through what we call a youth protection certification, which means that we fill out an extensive application and also get the FBI fingerprints done. We have references that we have to check. We have to go through some training, online training about harassment, what to do, what not to do, I should say, things that are appropriate when working with the youth. So just wanted to let the parents know that we do go through that type of certification before we're allowed to come to RYLA.
Fantastic. That's great. So let's start going through the questions here and people asking, how long is the wait list? Well, last year we had something like 220 people apply. So at some point, ultimately the camp can hold over 200 students, but we only had capacity, say, for like 150 staff. The good news is that because some people's plans change and that that they weren't able to camp, because please let us know if you've gotten sick or you can't that. So the chances are, I mean, one, currently, if you're applying now, I think we have something like 60 applications. And, we can easily take 150 and there's usually, some fair drop off rates of that. We also have a question that you never received an email or a confirmation. So upon receipt, you should have gotten an autumn message that your application has been received and that we would then start to process the applications. So I can also go back in and I also know that normally it is mid-March so that people should start to be hearing. So if you haven't heard anything from us, right now, you should very soon. So if you also have not heard anything, you can also put in the chat and I'll make a note of your name and maybe Mary, if you could help me make a note of those, that we will be asking to follow up. Question from Sterling. When assigning dorms, did the campers have any say who they want to stay with? Mary, you're, I believe, going to be tasked with helping with assigning people to the rooms. So what do you any insights on that?
Usually you don't have a say on where or who you're going to stay with. This year we are doing the morning risers, late sleepers. So if by chance your friend happens to be an early bird and you're an early bird, you may end up in the same dorm. But normally, no, it's by random that we do
Yeah.
that.
And
And some of
also
the
in
assignments
terms,
with the groups are
yeah,
done on purpose for that reason, so that you can meet other people, not just the people that you're friends with. And that's the beauty of camp, is meeting new people.
yeah. So yeah, if chances are you just want to go and hang out with your friends, chances are you're going to be in different teams. You might be in different cabins. You might be in the same cabin. Of course, you're going to have chance to see your friends that you know throughout it. So during the breaks, during the lunches, the activities. So there'll still be plenty of times to see anyone that you already know at the camp there. So Anissa has asked, when to receive the packing list and the info on the bus ride? That will probably be more like June. Again, remember that the camp is not until the end of July, so it might be June or early July. Again, what you bring, it's just like, shorts and t-shirts. Everyone does get a RYLA shirt that you have to wear on the first day and the last day. We don't want you getting all sweaty and smelly in the same shirt, but just for the first and last day. So you can bring other clothes. And then at night, you would have, your maybe hoodies and sweats or things. We have to bring like a sleeping bag or sheets, pillows, medications, but we'll have that that checklist for you. Also, closer to the date, that's where you'll know where the assigned location is. We try to make it central in each of the three counties as a place that can easily be dropped off to and pick up. So that'll all be coming very closely down the way. How many people are there per cabin? Mila, would you happen to know how many students are in a cabin?
I think there's around, I think it might be 12. I'm not completely sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's around there.
Yeah, Mary, you have helping with that about how many people in
I
a
don't
cabin?
know because I was not the one assigned to do the cabin assignment last year, so I don't know, but I think it's around 10 to 12.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
right. And again, you'll have an alumni staff. There's usually two wings for it, so there's might be 10 to 12 in one wing, and then there's kind of like the central facilities for the bathrooms and showers, and then that's where the alumni sleep, and then there's another wing like that. There's also about if our siblings in separate cabins and groups. Yes, the answer is probably most likely yes. Again, it's really about trying to make new friends and have people from differences. But again, you'll have a chance to hang out with each other, throughout the camp there and everything. So these are great questions. Will snacks be available throughout the day? Absolutely. Kai, can you speak to how well we feed you or don't feed you? Kai? Maybe that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry
Yeah.
about the snacks. Yes,
Yeah.
snacks will be available to you, basically all day. There are designated breaks, um, so there is a chance for, you to see, whoever you want, and eat snacks. They're laid out pretty, for easy access. So yes.
Throughout the day, throughout the evening as well, so, after dinner as well. And we try to be healthy. There could be, protein bars, there could be, of course, candy, fruit, things like that, yogurt, cheese sticks. Again, regarding any dietary needs, especially for the dining hall, please list that on that, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, any like nut allergies. But yeah, usually there's so many snacks that on the last day, we just have like, boxes of it. And we're like, please take this back with you. So you will not go hungry. It's really only on the bus ride down that you might just want to get some snacks. It is an early morning start because, we are trying to get their people down to the camp by like, say, 9 or something. So that would be the only time that you need to have anything. When do enrollments start? So we started taking applications in February, and we've been working to get the word out. Often it's through friends. We also get the word out to the schools. We have posters up in, the YMCA, libraries. So currently we're at about 60 applications. So if you apply now, you're going to be guaranteed a spot. It would be only more if you wait until May 15th to apply, that there might be a waiting list. We also find that usually that a lot of spaces do open up because some students, plans do change. But if you know that you're interested in the camp, please go and apply. And you should be starting to hear now within a week or so, but I will follow up that. So we'll also, for anyone else who hasn't gotten any follow-up, usually it's just once you submit this, it says thanks, we'll be in touch, but we should be getting onto that very slowly then. So I would say if you chose something on the form that you wanted to change, there is an email on the website. If you could send an email to that email, I think it's like hello@RYLA. And that would be the way that you could go ahead and make any answers that you wanted to change that. Oh, good question about what's the protocol for cell phones during the camp. Mila, do you want to talk about the coverage and their access to Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I kind of forget because I wasn't on my phone that much, but
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I
Kai,
forget
do
what
you
most
want
of
to
the
take that one?
campers.
I can answer it, but just giving you a chance. Yeah, Kai.
Yeah, generally, cell service is not that great. There is Wi-Fi and like decent cell service at the dining hall and the chapel. So like in some areas, but not everywhere. It's really spotty.
Yeah, it is limited. You all know that. I mean, look, there are a lot of activities. There are a lot of outdoor activities where the focus is doing these ropes courses, and then you're going to be having, discussions. So there isn't going to actually be a lot of time to be on your phone. Obviously, if you need to contact your parents about something, or they need to contact you, there will be a way that you will get coverage. We'll also probably have the contact details of our camp leadership, if they need to get a message to you. But, like I recall, like during the, karaoke dance session, some people were dancing, and then there were other students that were just checking social media and posting to Insta how great it is. So you will be able to be on your phone, but we would just ask that when you are in, like, say, the different sessions, that out of respect that you're not on your phone, just as I think that's just common courtesy.
Yeah.
All
And last
right, let's
thing,
see. That also covers the cell phone. That can you bring your own personal cameras? Absolutely. Yes, we would love you to bring your cameras. So we do ask that you do sign a waiver so that we can use your images, that the images that you've seen from these slides, from the videos, that's all taken. We have alumni who serve as the camp photographers, but whether it's just you're taking photos on your phone, or if you want to bring your own your own camera and photography, we would of course love you to take pictures as well. Okay. All right. I think that is pretty much everything. So just conscious of the time of wrapping up. So we will have a recording of this and also all of the slides. So, if there's anything you didn't catch and wanted to review, that should be up hopefully by tomorrow and on our YouTube channel and on the website. Thanks for some fantastic questions. Is there any other burning last minute questions? Nothing? So maybe let's just do a quick wrap around. And again, let's hear from Kai, Mila, and Mary. Like, if a student's sitting on the fence, not sure if they should really do this, or just what's a favorite memory you have about RYLA? Any closing words? Kai, you first.
I mean, just going off the top of my head, just getting to kind of again just meet new people, interact with people like outside my usual social circles, and the camper testimonials. Getting to go up there and like um talk to all the campers and like thank them for the experience.
yeah,
And Mila.
yeah, please sign up. We would love to have you and, just come into camp with an open mind. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see who shows up and yeah.
Okay, and Mary, any other things you'd like to say?
Yes, I would like to say if you're thinking about it, just have an inkling about it, I would say go for it. There were many students in my group that didn't have any friends that went with them or from their school even. And they ended up leaving the camp with new friends. And you really meet, the purpose is to meet people and to build your leadership skills. One personal story I want to share with you is I had a really shy camper in my group, and we did the zip lining. After we debriefed it about how she felt, because she was one of the very last people to go down that zip line, because I can tell she was a little scared and nervous about it, but she actually did it. And when we did the debrief, the question I asked her was, how do you feel? And the word I'll never forget what she said. She goes, "I feel free." And it just brought goosebumps to me. And even as I share it now, it brings goosebumps to me. So if you're thinking about it, just do it. It'll be the best week of your life, I guarantee.
And I'm going to close with saying one thing. Let me just grab something real quick here. So I actually have my little bag of affirmations here and everything like that. And I was hoping to pick a really good one that I could share with you. And let me just kind of basically say what the student said to me. So it just said, "Dear Todd, I had the most amazing week ever. I came into this camp so shy, not knowing if I would ever make friends. You encouraged us to give a voice and that everyone had a voice. I can't thank you so much. I can't wait to come back RYLA next year, hopefully to be as a RYLA stamp. Had so much fun making friends, dancing, and just having lots of love. Love, Marta." So that is example of the stories that you're going to go. So we would love for that experience to be with you. So we will be processing the applications. We will be following up with you about that. And then in the coming months, you'll just get the more details about where the bus is going to be, where, what to pack and everything. And then, once you get to camp, finding out who's going to be in your group and everything like that. So thanks everyone so much for your time. We're going to stop the recording now. Okay.